George Pickens isn't the problem. The problem is whether the Cowboys understand exactly what they're holding and whether they're about to play hardball in a way that backfires under the bright lights at Jerry World. I am Carlos Eduardo, and when I evaluate the star on the helmet, I don't just look at headlines. I look at leverage, cap strategy, and what the film is screaming between the lines. Pickens just gave you 93 catches, 1,429 yards, and 9 touchdowns in a contract year. That's not empty production. What I see on the film is a receiver who wins on the money downs, who doesn't flinch in tight coverage, who can tilt coverage structures even while lining up next to CD. That's structural impact. That's a piece you build around. Now, Jerry Jones is reportedly considering the franchise tag. On paper, it makes sense. You maintain control. You buy time. You avoid losing an elite talent in free agency. But from my perspective, the tag isn't just a roster tool. It's a message. And messages matter in this locker room. We've already seen how tense negotiations can ripple through this franchise. When a player with leverage feels boxed in, off-season programs get skipped. Training camp turns into a countdown clock. Media pressure builds. At AT&TStadium, distractions don't stay quiet, they echo. If I'm being honest with Cowboys fans, this is where discipline has to show up. The tag would eat a significant chunk of cap space immediately. That affects how you protect Dak. It affects how you reinforce the defensive front, especially against teams like Philadelphia that punish you in the trenches. You can't talk about Super Bowl aspirations and ignore roster balance. And let's talk legacy. This franchise wasn't built on hesitation. Tom Landry's teams had clarity. The 90s dynasty, Troy, Emmett, Irvin, thrived because the organization aligned vision with execution. When America's team is at its best, there's no public drama about core pieces. There's structure. There's decisiveness. Pickens proved he can handle WR1 responsibility. He's physical at the catch point, explosive off the line, and he's shown growth in route discipline. Pair that with CD, and you have a legitimate triple threat dynamic that forces defenses into uncomfortable math. Remove him, and the spacing shrinks. Safeties cheat. Windows tighten. The entire geometry of the offense changes. But paying him recklessly, that's not the answer either. Championship rosters are built on controlled aggression. You reward elite production, but you structure the deal intelligently. Bonuses spread out, guarantees aligned with the window you're truly chasing. What concerns me isn't whether Pickens deserves to be paid. He does. What concerns me is whether this becomes another ego-driven standoff instead of a strategic negotiation. Because in the NFC East, weakness is hunted. The Eagles aren't slowing down. The Giants and Commanders would love to see instability in Dallas. From my analysis, the move is clear. If you use the tag, it has to be a bridge, not a battlefield. Immediate talks. No drawn-out saga. No late August tension. Show the locker room that production, toughness, and clutch factor get rewarded the right way in Dallas. The star carries weight. Players feel it. Fans feel it. Opponents feel it. And every decision either strengthens that weight or chips away at it. This isn't just about 2026. It's about protecting a championship window. If Jerry and the front office handle this with clarity and conviction, they keep the offense dynamic and the culture stable. If they miscalculate, they risk turning leverage into liability. And around here, we don't chase comfort, we chase rings.